Hi everyone, welcome to the Creative Wandering Duo. Sandra here, and big welcome to all the new subscribers. We sure enjoy you coming along on our YouTube journey. Excuse me. If I'm looking a little bit tired, it could be because I am a little bit. We've had a rather interesting couple of weeks. You get to a certain age and health starts to deteriorate a bit. And yes, we've made some emergency runs to hospitals, and now it's the testing to figure out what's wrong. No, not me, my hubby. But they've told him to keep on keeping on, just like normal. So until we can figure this thing out, that's what we are doing. Prayers are always welcome. But I'll show you what I've been working on, not so much on the long arm right now. I still have the quilt on there, my customer's quilt, and it's that Judy Niemeyer one, and I'll be working on the borders here in the next while. But today I think I'm going to work on either my sewing machines or just sit quietly and do some hand stitching. But I will show you what I have made in the last little bit. In our guild we had a fabric exchange at Christmas time, and what it was is we brought what we classified as ugly fabric, or fabric we didn't want anymore, and we passed it around and kept ripping it into smaller and smaller pieces, and until we got down to, I think, about a 2-inch piece, and then we quit. And the idea was to take this fabric home and make something nice out of it. Just because what other people consider an ugly fabric doesn't mean it is an ugly fabric, and you can make some very nice items out of them. So that was the deal. We called it making a silk purse out of a sow's ear. So I made a bag. Now and we could add one fabric from our stash to enhance or bring things together. This was one of the fabrics that was considered ugly, and that was the liner for my bag. The only fabric I added was my handles, but the rest was all the fabrics that from that exchange. And it's a handy, nice sized bag. I like it. So that was the project I made. And then to keep my hands busy, while Dave was getting his testing and such done, I dug out some projects that I had started a while ago. Now, back in the 2000s, I had taken a class from Kathy K. Wiley, and Sew Flakes is what it was called. And so I've been working on it and trying to get it done. And I think what I'm going to do with this is make it into a pillow top. And I'm going to add some more stitching around with the embroidery floss. And yeah, I think it'll make a kind of a neat top. And the thread that I've been using is Wonderfil's Effina thread. I like, because I can get all the different colors, and it's very, very fine, and I like it because it just disappears when you're doing applique. It's beautiful thread to work with. So that's what I've been working with. And no, this isn't sponsored by Wonderfil. It's just I like their threads. They're a Canadian company, and yes, they make some really nice threads. I've when I first started long arming, I went looking for threads to use, and I came across them, and they're head office is in Calgary, Alberta, and I figured it's a Canadian outfit. I'm supporting them, and I have all the way along. I used to carry their threads here, and I sold them on consignment, and I did the Saskatoon quilt show. I had a booth for Wonderfil there, and I also did the Regina quilt show for Wonderfil, and I had all their threads there. So yeah, I'm kind of sold on them. I do like other threads, don't get me wrong, I do, but I mainly use Wonderfil threads in my long arming and also for my machine sewing. I like the Deco Bob. It's an 80 weight poly, and I fill all my bobbins with that because you can get a whole lot more on the bobbin, and you don't have to fill your bobbins. You don't run out as quickly. Now, you might have to play with your tension a little bit, but that's okay. It doesn't take much to set your tensions. Just play around with it a little bit, read your manuals, and it doesn't take much, and you can get perfect tension using different weights in the top and the bottom. But I like using a lighter weight in my machines when I'm piecing because your seams aren't as heavy. And I mean, if you sew with a 50 weight in top and bottom, make a seam and fold it over, press it to one side, and then use an 80 weight top and bottom and press that seam and then feel those seams. There's a big difference. And that's like when they're calling for a scant 1/4 inch, if you use the 80 weight thread, yeah, you're not going to have an issue with that having to make it a scant 1/4 inch because the thread isn't taking up the room in that seam allowance. It's just a tip for you. It works great. So that's what I've been stitching on. And another project that I've had around here for quite a number of years, and I was doing it all by hand, and is this cathedral window, and I think I've got it to the edge. It's just going to be a small table topper, and so now I'm working on doing the edges up. Where was I sewing here? I know I started somewhere. Can't find it now. The other day I was working on it, so, oh, right here. So I just have to go in now and sew these edges like this and get the curves in there. And then I am going to say this one is done. I think I've been working on it for the last 15 years. So I think that's going to be it. It's not going to be a big one, but it'll still be done. And let me see, what else have I been working on? Doing a lot of handwork. Oh, no, I did sit down at the machine here the other day and I made some more scrap blocks. Actually, I made quite a few. I didn't realize how many I'd made. Just sewing bits and pieces out of my scrap box together and cutting them into 12.5-inch squares. Because the scrap box floweth over. And I just grab and sew together and then slice it into 12.5. You know, when you're in a stressful situation, sewing scrap blocks together is no mind type work. It just gives your mind a break. But your hands are busy, and so you feel like you've accomplished something, which is good for the psyche. You have to do that. Yeah, I did make quite a few blocks the other day. I didn't realize how many I'd made. I think I've got enough in here now for, probably a couple of queen size quilts. I have a lot of strips in there. So I just grab them out and start sewing. It's a good thing to go back and review. I didn't realize I'd made that many blocks. So yeah, I'll have to sew those together. And I think today I'm going to do more of that sewing. I've got a label to sew on a quilt, and then that is done. I might have to do some reorganizing in here a bit. The sun's shining nicely, so I'm enjoying the sunlight. But as far as long arming today, I don't think I'm going to. I think that'll wait for another day. So it's going to take a bit to get that next border done, that I want to demo for you, and how I divided and conquered it. Anyway. Oh, and thank you all so much for all the comments. They were wonderful. Appreciated each and every one. So anyway, this was just a little brief update, to let you know what's happening here. And hopefully soon life will get back to normal again and we can get stitching. It's a really cold, crisp day out there. So me and the sewing machines are going to stay warm and get humming along. So, and remember to subscribe, share, comment. LCS works. Just put LCS in the comment. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And it's been great answering your questions and hearing your comments. I enjoy reading them. It's it was a wonderful pick-me-up. So thank you so very much. And each of you have a wonderful rest of your week. And remember to stay real. Bye for now.